Welcome back. We're very happy to have you with us. We are going to continue our gospel reflections for the fifth Sunday in Ordinary Time. We are joined today by Jen Abdallah, who joins our staff today. We didn't waste any time getting her involved with reading the gospel. We're also joined here as Amy, who is who has been doing all of those wonderful readings of the things for so long, and she's our photographer and everything else too. So Amy, thank you very much. And that's that. And we missed last week. We did miss last week. I had the flu, so there you go. Now we're back. So thank you, Jen, and thank you, Amy, for being here to help us in the reflection. And Jen is going to read from Luke's Gospel.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. While the crowd was pressing in on Jesus and listening to the word of God, he was standing by the lake of Gennesaret. He saw two boats where alongside the lake the fishermen had disembarked and were washing their nets. Getting into one of the boats, the one belonging to Simon, he asked him to put out a short distance from the shore. Then he sat down and taught the crowds from the boat. After he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Put out into deep water and lower your nets for a catch." Simon said in reply, "Master, we have worked hard all night and have caught nothing, but at your command I will lower the nets." When they had done this, they caught a great number of fish, and their nets were tearing. They signaled to their partners in the other boat to come to help them. They came and filled both boats, so that the boats were in danger of sinking. When Simon Peter saw this, he fell at the knees of Jesus and said, "Depart from me, Lord, for I am a sinful man." For astonishment at the catch of the fish they had made seized them and all those with them, and likewise James and John, the sons of Zebedee, who were partners of Simon. Jesus said to Simon, "Do not be afraid. From now on you will be catching men." When they brought their boats to the shore, they left everything and followed him.
So this wonderful gospel reading is very special to me in an interesting way. And I don't know if I've told this story before, but I do tell it occasionally. And when I was a little boy, I loved to go fishing. And my grandfather was the one who always was talking about, and my grandmother for that matter. She actually fished a lot more than my grandfather. But when he went with me, I always caught fish. So remember, the story goes that when I was in my early teens, I went up to him and said, "There's no more fish more trout in the big fishing hole where we used to go." And he just goes, "Yeah, no more trout, huh? Oh, well, let's go down and find out." And we went down there, and he told me how to do it, gave me a nice fishing lesson, and I caught two that day when he was with me. And I always caught more fish when he was with me. So it was this wonderful thing. Now, I didn't think about any religious implications of this at all when I was young. I just knew that my grandfather took the time to come down and help me, and when I was with him, I caught more fish. So I just thought that my grandfather must be the smartest person that there was, because he knew where the fish were. So in a no small way whatsoever, I put myself at that moment to trying to figure out how to be like my grandfather, because he must, after all, be very smart to know how to catch fish like this. So I found out by that journey that my grandfather I already knew this, but my grandfather was a very devout person. He always took us to church, but we always got taken to church when we were at home too, so it wasn't anything special. But my whole life since then has been one of first trying to be like my grandfather, and then realizing that my grandfather was the way he was because of his faith and because of the life that he celebrated in the Mass, and how important that was to him. That was a wonderful journey. And the lesson is that we don't realize the good we're doing for people by just being with them, and by spending time with them, by taking them fishing, by going whatever. By really spending time with people, we do great good. That this had a religious implication, it didn't occur to me. I think I was in seminary when I was probably heard this reading one week, and I go, "Oh wow, Grandpa, you really wonder, you really taught me." I'm still learning from just that wonderful gift that he gave me by being with me, by going with me to to the fishing hole and proving to me that I didn't know what I was doing, and in so doing made me a better fisherman, made me a better person, and started me on a journey that continues to this day. That he started. It's an amazing thing, because very few of us think about interactions that we had when we were children that shaped our lives, especially ones as simple as that. We remember sometimes the big lessons. We remember the first funeral we went to. We remember the first time we got our hearts broken, and all of those kinds of things. And then we lose count of how many times all those things have happened to us too. So it's one of those life journeys when they're big things we remember. But do you remember the little things that have shaped your life and have helped you become who you are, or have helped you begin a journey that continues to this day? Hopefully a good one. And sometimes it's not all good. Sometimes it's challenges. Obviously, even with my grandfather, if he were alive today, he'd be well into his hundreds. So he died when he was 85. So we lose people in our lives that are important to us. And that is a challenge to us. It's hard for us, but I still go to the Tug Hill Plateau where he took me fishing. I still go up there even in winter when I can climb over the snowbank and get into the place. I still have all of those things that have really made me what I am. But take a real good inventory of those things in your life that have shaped you in that way. And that this is a big part of our faith. This fisherman metaphor here is no small thing whatsoever, as I've grown up to. The interesting thing here, or among the interesting things here, is this amazing thing that Jesus tells them where to cast their nets. He tells them how to fish, and then he says it's people who are going to be drawn to you, who are going to be drawn. He uses that wonderful metaphor of the fish that they catch, that people will come to you in the same way. And it's important to remember that that's not just for these guys, it's for all of us. All Christian people shine his light. And if you want to keep the fisherman metaphor going, then that light is the bait. It's what draws people into the faith, because it's not ours, it's the light of Jesus Christ. And in our world today, we hear this every once in a while, but sometimes you hear people who are called Christian or Catholic, and then you realize very quickly that they're not shining any other light than their own. And that's always something that we have to be careful of. We'd be patient with people when they fall into this, but also to say, we are Christian people, we're Catholics, may the light we shine be his. And if it's not, something's very wrong. And we know that it's not, because there's no possibility for a Christian person to be hate-filled or to really want and desire in their hearts people to be harmed or anything like that. And yet we get challenged in all of those ways in our life. And we want to make sure that we're consistent in the way in which we look at and treat people, and in the way in which we consider the lives